Most dirt bike videos you see online are riders who started when they were kids. They make it look effortless. But I started learning dirt bikes as an adult, and I had absolutely no idea how hard it would actually be. So if you've ever wondered whether adults can actually learn to ride dirt bikes, I'm going to share what the learning curve has really been like for me.
I'm 44 years old, and I did not grow up riding dirt bikes. I spent most of my week in front of a computer, and about a year and a half ago, I bought a little dual sport bike and got my motorcycle endorsement. That led to a real dirt bike, and that honestly scared me. So I got an electric dirt bike, and it became my bridge so I could focus on building my skills. If you're over 40 and dirt curious, you didn't miss your window. I started this channel because I didn't see a lot of women riding electric or starting the sport in middle age, living in the Pacific Northwest especially. Subscribe to follow along on my learning journey.
I think a lot of adults get curious about dirt biking for the same reasons I did. You see friends riding, you see these amazing trails and open places, and part of you thinks, oh, that looks really fun. Then the other part of your brain says, isn't that something people start when they're kids? Starting something like this as an adult can feel intimidating because you just don't want to look like a beginner. And I just didn't want to hurt myself. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There are definitely parts of learning dirt biking that are hard. The first thing, coordination. There's just a lot happening at once. For most people who are riding dirt bikes, I'm riding electric. So if you're starting out with a regular dirt bike, throttle, clutch, brakes, standing, all looking ahead on the trail, and at first your brain's just trying to process all of it. And so even once I removed all that from the equation and just had electric, I still felt like I had so much to deal with. I'd say the second hard thing is terrain. Sand riding humbled me pretty quickly. I've talked about that before in one of my previous videos. You just can't ride it the same way you ride hard-packed dirt. So I mostly ride on a lot of muddy, rooty, just mucky things. It's wintertime because I live out here in Western Washington. It's just funny how, depending on where you live, you can get really used to the terrain you have. So when you try something totally different, it can just really throw you off guard. The third thing is just fear. When you're learning as an adult, your brain is very aware of risk. Kids, they just go for it. Adults, we're thinking about falling, crashing, or getting hurt. I mean, we all have day jobs, and if I break an arm or a leg, it would make it really hard for me to go to work. And so I wear a lot of protective gear when I'm riding, because if I do fall off my bike, I can't get hurt. Like, I have too many things to do. Another thing that surprised me is how physical dirt biking is. I was so excited. I ride mountain bikes. I pedal all the time. When I get on this dirt bike, I'm going to have to do no work at all. I mean, obviously I was totally wrong. I think what has surprised me and was unexpected, I got arm pump, just standing on the pegs and using your body to go up and down, keeping your balance. You just get tired. I was honestly shocked how after a 1 hour ride, I was pretty fatigued, and now I'm getting better because I've been riding a lot more, but I was really surprised at how physical it is. Obviously the dirt bike weighs a lot more than a mountain bike, so just hauling it around, moving it around, it's such a different level of effort and different muscles. Here's the thing that surprised me. Progress happens faster than you think. The first few rides feel awkward, but then something just starts to click. Your balance improves, your confidence improves, and I think what helped, of course, was me taking clinics. I did a whole video about just my experience taking clinics. I highly encourage you to watch that. I'll link it. Your brain finally just figures it out. And I think adults bring some advantages. We may not learn the same way kids do, but we have more patience, better decision-making skills. I think we're willing to put in the time to practice. We're not just sending it, we're trying to learn intentionally. And that really pays off for us as adults. So what makes it all worth it? For me, the biggest reward hasn't been just learning to ride. It's just the feeling of doing something new again. Something a little uncomfortable, something that requires learning and practice. And that feeling of capability is just really powerful. I'd like to think it's keeping my brain young and creating just a whole bunch of neural connections that weren't there before that will help me as I age. So let me give you my honest answer. How hard is it to learn dirt biking as an adult? It's definitely not easy at first, but it's also not nearly as impossible as it might seem from the outside. If you're willing to be a beginner for a while, it's actually incredibly fun to learn dirt biking. And honestly, doing hard things again as an adult might be one of the best parts of it.
Feel about that?
I'm proud of myself because I got stuck on it yesterday.
Yeah, that was good.
If you're curious what beginner dirt riding actually looks like, I made some other videos really showing my experience, and I'll link all those below. If you're learning to ride as an adult, I'd just love to hear about it in the comments.